Good morning, good afternoon, wherever you are in the world. Welcome to Get Hired, Stay Hired. This is a show for executive job seekers who want to have the edge in their job search, but also not just in their search, but when they've got their job too. So your CV and your covering letter might get you an interview, but actually what's going to get you hired faster and stay hired longer is what you do before, during, and after the interview. We are looking at the mindset, marketing, and interview skills that are going to help you stand out from the crowd for all of the right reasons. My name is Sarah Farmer. I am an executive coach, a multi-award-winning executive coach, and the author of best-selling book Leader Unleashed. And my role here is to help you with the mindset and interview skills side of things that will really help you stand out from the crowd. And I'm joined by my fabulous co-host, Vanessa Ashworth, who will introduce herself now.
Hello, good afternoon, everybody. Yes, I'm Vanessa Ashworth, and I'm a marketing director. I am here to help you be more visible, more credible, and more memorable, which we know is really important when you're looking for a role, as I am at the minute, to be more visible, so that jobs come to you rather than you having to chase jobs. You can't buy what you can't see. So I'm here to help you be seen. But it's not just when you're looking for a role. It's, of course, when you are in role as well. Because as we all learn, if you aren't visible and credible and memorable when you're in role, as senior executives, those roles don't last long. The dog's there.
Here's the dog to join as well. So yes. Yeah, I mean, it's everything you can do before, during, and after. So we are here for you, not for our own viewing pleasure, although we do love to be on telly. What questions do you have? Thomas is in, yay! And I was going to say also, we are occasionally joined by recruitment experts and gods, and here is one. Thomas Williams is in the house. So we are not recruitment experts, but Thomas is. So if you've got questions that are related to recruitment specific things, then we often have people in the audience that can actually answer those questions. And if there aren't, we will take them to them and get them answered. But yeah, let us know that you are here. Hello, Michelle. Michelle's in as well. Oh, I should put these on the screen, shouldn't I? Let's do that. Let's press the right buttons. There's the God. Michelle's joined us. Let us know where you are joining from, and also what your purpose of being here is today. What job are you looking for? It's an opportunity to showcase yourself here. But what questions have you got for us? What's blocking you? What's stopping you? What's getting in your way? What's annoying you? What are you delighted about? What interviews have you had? Tell us anything, and ask us any questions at all that will help you get hired, stay hired. So let's just say hello to people that are coming in as well. Shailene, I hope I've said that right. Nice to have you. Welcome. Vanessa, we've had a few questions come in, which are quite consistent questions about how do you build trust, how do you communicate, and other stuff. But we've also had you do something last week.
Yeah,
the flare post, and there's some interesting stats on that, which be really interesting if you wouldn't mind sharing a little bit about that. What is a flare post to start with?
What is a flare post? Yeah, lots of people don't know about this, but a flare post is an announcement to your network on LinkedIn that you are available to work. Now, over the past month or so, I've been posting consistently, sharing my skills, sharing stories of where I've delivered results in the past, kind of explaining what I do to help companies. And they've all gone down quite well, and they're quite well received, and I think they're pretty good. But the flare post from last Tuesday has reached 3 times as many people, with 3 times as many comments, and 19 people reposted it for me. So if you haven't already, if you are job seeking, and if you haven't already, I heartily recommend that you post a flare post this week. So what is it? I mean, I don't know how, but LinkedIn and your network realize that this is something different. You state at the top that you are open to work, that you're looking for a new role. Tell people the roles that you are looking for. Tell people where you are location-wise. Tell people where you've delivered some of your key results, and then ask people to comment, ask people to tag people, Ask people to share it with their network. People on LinkedIn, your network, will love to help you. So a flare post is a positive post. There are alternative variations, but it's a positive kind of waving a flag to the market to say, I'm available. This is what I'm looking for. This is what I'm good at. How can I help you? And over the past month or so, my average impressions have been about 1,300. The flare post got almost 6,000 views so far, and as I said, 19 reposts. So if you don't know what one is, have a look on my profile after the show, and it's the first in my featured. It's the first post in my featured section, and you'll see it and get an idea of the kind of thing that you've got to put in there.
Sorry, my phone keeps ringing. All right, I'm going to turn it off.
Turn it off. So Thomas is asking a question. What are your thoughts on C-level neurodivergent individuals about opening up maybe on an application?
It's a great question. And for those of you that don't know Thomas and don't follow him on LinkedIn, he talks a lot about ADHD, neurodiversity, and is very open and very generous with his information sharing on that. So here's my thoughts. I would share it if it was relevant and necessary. I think at anything that's going to help you perform better, and something and if it's going to trip you up in the future, so it's a bit like with the elephant in the room we've talked about in previous episodes, where is it something that needs to be shared? I don't think there's a one size fits all answer on this, and Thomas, you might have a different answer coming from a neurodiverse, for a neurodiverse mindset, as am I. Would I feel necessarily comfortable or the need to share that? I personally wouldn't, because I understand myself really well and I know what my foibles are and I know how to control myself. A lot of people don't, and a lot of people can't. They're not able to do that. So my answer is possibly, if you think it's going to help you. But I would also be very careful that it might get in your way and unnerve people, in which case then my brain's going, if it does, would they be the right people to work with anyway?
Yeah, but obviously, so every part of the application stage is just to get you to that next piece, isn't it? Your CV just gets you to that first phone call, which isn't usually with your hiring manager. It's with a talent person for the company, or it's with a recruiter. So you have to kind of think about what's going to get you to the next stage. And like you say, it's what do you need to share to get to that next level. Quite a few application processes now do ask you if you need any special provisions for that next stage. And if you do, then I would say, yes, do what you need to help you. But if your neurodivergence isn't going to impact you too much at the early stages, I probably wouldn't.
No. Well, for me, I mean, I know I kind of missed the bit at the end. That's my ADHD. I didn't read the last bit on application. So at the beginning of the application, I don't think I would at all at a C level. I just don't think I would. I'm not saying I'm right. I just don't think I know I wouldn't. But I would probably bring it up in conversation once I'd built trust and we were getting through the process. I hope most people now are open to neurodiversity, but we do have to be very careful about frightening people's brains unconsciously and subconsciously in what we write and what we say and what we do. So there'll be a right time to do it. But Thomas, let us know what you think. Pop it in the chat as well. And let us know, anyone that's listening, what do you think? What would you do? Are you neurodivergent? Would you share it? Is there a right way to do it?
Yeah.
Okay, we've got Michelle, who I did speak to last week, made redundant last week. I'm so sorry. Looking for a new role in sales, recruitment or marketing, based in Cheshire. My location having chats are the largest challenges. Okay. Location's interesting because I guess if you have to go into the office, then the location is a challenge, right? But most jobs are offering hybrid now, aren't they?
Yeah.
I suppose it depends on the level of
You're
the
in
role.
the best location. I'm Lancashire. I'm only just a bit further up the road from you.
Yeah.
I mean, you're in the best location. We've got Manchester, Liverpool, and all these other places in Chester for you, perhaps on your doorstep. I don't think that. I know there are more jobs seemingly in London, but I don't let that be a negative. It's not. Having chats is interesting because I think we said last week we'd seen somebody said it takes 100 chats to get a role. Yeah, we need to think about how we make ourselves visible and invite those conversations so we can have as many chats with our network and with a new network as possible to kind of get out there,
yeah,
see what the market's looking.
And is it having the chats? Because I mean, I know we've chatted before, and you're very chatty, and really personable. So is it knowing who to chat? Is it wanting to have the chats? So is the discomfort there? Is there a mindset thing, or is it who do I chat to? So let us know, what is it specifically that is the challenge with the chats?
Yeah.
Location, I think, is a bit of a red herring, but I do appreciate, like you said, Vanessa, a lot of jobs are in London.
Yeah.
So yeah, let us know a bit more about that. What is the actual challenge? Right. How do you rate the latest AI tools rather than just Indeed and LinkedIn? Do we need to use the latest tools for what?
Yeah, I guess this is for job roles, searching for job roles. So the one that I've tried is Jack and Jill. That's interesting. So Jack is for the candidates. That's where we go and we share our CV and tell Jack what we want. It's very conversational. And he will then go off and daily or whenever you want.
He isn't actually going anywhere because it's AI. Just checking.
He's out there running up and down the streets in Manchester and Leeds.
Vanessa wants a job.
And so he's coming back very useful, coming up with jobs. So more misses than hits, I guess. But interesting, he's learning all the time, and you can teach him what you want and why something's not appropriate. Interestingly, I think it was last week that Jill then launched, and Jill is for the recruiters, the people with the roles.
Okay.
And the idea is, in a future perfect world, Jill will come with the role and Jack will say, I've got the perfect person.
Oh my goodness. Wow.
So get on it. You never know where it's going to lead. It's new. It's learning all the time, but better be in it. Got to be in it to win it. And I'm not sure what other ones there are, actually. If you know of more, let me know. We'll try it.
But you know what? The old-fashioned approach still works as well. It's people in your network, it's job boards, it's being on LinkedIn and all that stuff. But I think you're absolutely right. If it's out there and you're not on it and someone else is, you're minimizing your chances. But by how much, I'm not entirely sure yet. I didn't even know it existed, the Jack and Jill thing. So there we go. But then I'm not looking for a job, so I maybe I wouldn't.
We do keep saying, don't we, that we could be just applying for roles that come up. But then it means that we aren't in control. We're just handing over that power to everyone else.
Yeah.
What we need to be doing is handing over our CV to people who are going to go and do that work for us, so that it's not just one person looking. So make sure you're think about all the different channels we've got to sing our praises for us.
Yeah.
We can send our CV off. We can get in contact with executive headhunters and recruiters, make sure that we're keeping in touch with them, making sure that our profiles are updated on job boards every week, let them know that we're still actively looking. Obviously, your network. So people who aren't on LinkedIn, get in contact with them. People are on LinkedIn, maybe use that to kind of get in contact with them again. Posting, commenting for credibility.
Commenting, we talked about last time, didn't we? The power of commenting is huge.
Huge. Yeah. But also think about other places as well where you can make yourself more visible. I mean, do you have your own website, LinkedIn channel? I don't know. And then one idea was thought leadership. Where can you do your own PR? Can you write articles in different places to get more eyes on you?
This is such a wasted opportunity. The amount of people I've spoken to about this who don't post on LinkedIn. And we've talked about writing. All right, so don't post, but write an article, write a thought leader post. but that's too much too. So start by just commenting, pop your cherry doing that, and then but if you can be writing those thought leadership pieces, my goodness, you're going to stand out, and people will know what you're talking about and what you're into and how you lead and everything else. So really important. Can I just say hello to Waggy? He's back.
I know, yeah.
He used to come to the business break that we did.
Days,
So, hello, welcome back. What do you say about ghost job? I don't really know if I fully understand the question. Do you mean about being ghosted, or are these jobs to be a ghost? I don't know. I think you're talking about being ghosted. But if you can just, we'll come back to this, Waggy. If you can just explain, do you mean about being ghosted or jobs that didn't exist? Just let us know. Exactly what you mean. Do you want to take this one?
Yeah, sure. So curious about this. To what extent are you targeting your LinkedIn profile to specific sectors? As a marketer, targeting feels like the most natural thing to do. But when you've worked across more than one sector, surely common for senior marketers, where's the rest of the
for senior marketers?
It feels limiting or risky. So I think when I post and when I comment, I'm kind of thinking, what do I want to be known for? And therefore, I do tend to niche down because it makes me more memorable. First of all, if people can pick, Vanessa, she's the one who this, whether it's, value propositions or whatever that I'm talking about. So I do tend to niche down to sectors. No, I don't really. But I tend to niche down into my I don't know.
I think the thing is, you are clear. What I see from you is you're absolutely clear on what you want, why you want it, where you want it.
Yeah.
And we've talked about this in 2 or 3 shows ago. Is making sure that you are very clear in your head when you're looking for jobs what you do want. Now, I'm just thinking it from my perspective. I'll work with senior leaders and leadership teams that have got growth mindset brains. All right. It's not specific to any industry, although I do, I really love working in pharma and engineering. But the point is, you've got to niche down somewhere and be using your time wisely, following, talking to, chatting with the right people that you want to work with. So if you haven't thought about the area that you want to work in, not necessarily the sector, but the type of organization or the type of people or the size of the organization or the geography of the organization, something like that, you are going to be scattergunning. So you don't have to necessarily be niched into the industry, although that's quite useful, especially at the C-suite level, because you are industry specific. I'm not saying you're pigeonholed to an industry, but it might be you're going to be up against less challenge if you've already got experience in that industry. But you might decide, actually, I don't care. I want the challenge in another industry, and I'm all for that. Go for it.
I think
be clear that's what you want.
Yeah, I think that is really useful. And I used to talk a lot about manufacturing and engineering as the sector where I've got most experience, and it is absolutely right. But I'm being seen in professional services as well, because again, like you, more sector experience than in just one place. But I think the important thing is with your profile and with your content to know what you want to be known for and niche down to be memorable for that. And if you share your expertise in the bit that you love about what you do, the kind of role that you want, then I think even if you've niched, because you're showing yourself to be an expert in that thing, other people will be drawn to you. And people who do like what you're saying, even if you're not from their sector, they'll think, Joe, he knows his stuff. I'm going to have a word with him. So I would say do not be scared to niche down in some things, but I think go for what you love and what you want to do.
Yeah, what you want to do, and where do you want to go? Think about what you actually want. What industry? What sector? How much do you want to earn? What do you love doing? What are you a specialist at? Be talking to people in those areas, and you can't go far wrong. So LinkedIn user, hello. Some employers sign up to the agreement to guarantee an interview for disabled people.
So I think that's linked to the do you declare your neurodivergence? Because it might help you to be more visible if people need to make up the numbers.
Yeah, it can work in your favor. I mean, I let's not go into the whole DE&I thing, but it can work in your favor. It's all got a little bit skewed at the moment, but where there are genuine organizations genuinely trying to do it right, I think that's wonderful. Thomas said we answered it perfectly. Good. I feel pleased. It's all about the reasonable adjustments in place. But if it's not offered, then it's not worth sharing. All down to you as a person and how you feel within your own journey. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we're all on a different path, and we're all finding out at different times about ourselves. So it's just what you're ready to share and what you feel comfortable with. Because if you feel uncomfortable sharing something, that will leak out too, and then you'll come across as uncomfortable, and people will start to pick up that as a fear response, and then they'll go, we don't like you and we don't know why. So that's a very short way of explaining what goes on in the brain.
Yeah.
The opportunity. Okay, so you need to create the opportunities to have the conversations. I'm working with a couple of people who are looking for senior level roles at the moment, having this conversation about getting the opportunities. It is having the courage to reach out to all the people that you know, without feeling icky, and say, hey, I'm looking for my new opportunity. May not be with you, but just wonder if we can have a quick chat. And keep pulling the feelers out. So I've got one who spoke to an ex-boss who he would really love to work with again about 3 months ago, who's literally just come back to them and said, just check in and say, oh, I'd still really like to work with you. There's no opportunities yet, but I'm keeping my eyes open. So
Yeah,
you've got to be seen, right? They're not going to come to you.
And the thing is, people do love to help.
They do.
People do love to help. So think about who you like, who might be well connected, and ask them if they've got 10, 15 minutes for a Teams chat over a coffee. Ask them how they are. Ask them if you can help them in their role.
Yeah, and Michelle, I don't know what your situation is from a financial point of view, but the other thing I will say to people in senior level positions who have generally earned some money and have some money in the bank, not always, but sometimes, is take some time out to process and just get over it, because being made redundant is not pleasant. We all know rationally it's not personal. We hope it's not personal. Sometimes it is, and that's wrong for lots of reasons. But generally, it's not. It's because something's happened within the business or the environment that you couldn't control. So give yourself some time to process that, and if you can, just take a week off to think things through. When your brain is less muddy and fuzzy and full of being made redundant, you can actually see what you need to do, and things and ideas pop up. But then it can't happen when your mindset is full of fear, worry, upset, whatever it is you're feeling. You might be feeling delighted you've been made redundant. I don't know. But if you're not, then it might be worth taking a little bit.
It's stopped raining, so get outside in the fresh air.
Yeah, get some sunshine. Oh, and she loves that. She loves her walks with the dogs. Hey, Joe from Folkestone in Kent. Very nice too. She's going to try Jack and Jill. Marvelous. Right, what we got here. Mark. Hello, Mark. Thanks for joining us. I have several connections that were made redundant from the oil and gas sector and have not been able to secure work for some 6 to 12 months down the line. The government needs to provide more support. Yeah, it is really tough. Be interesting to know what sort of roles they're in. Are they C-suite roles, D-suite roles, middle management? What sort of roles are they? I used to work in oil and gas, and I've seen it in the good times and I've seen it in the bad times. And in the bad times, which it sounds like it might be in at the moment, it is absolute hell.
There's a lot of roles coming up in the energy sector, though. So are your skills transferable? I'm sure they are.
Yeah, to green energy maybe, as opposed to traditional. Yeah.
And there are lots of small companies coming up. So I think doing some research into that and pushing yourself out there, getting chats with people in that industry.
And look for the small consultancy business as well. I've worked with a couple actually in the last year or so, actually in the energy sector, and they're growing rapidly. Mm-hmm. I think the big boys and girls are probably a bit stuck, and I don't know because I haven't looked into oil and gas for a while. But from what you're saying, Mark, I would suggest that is what's happening. But look at the small companies. Go and look at the small to medium ones that are growing rapidly. There's a lot out there. Maybe you didn't want to be in a consultancy role, but as Vanessa said, are your skills transferable, and is there another way? One thing I will say is, having conversations a lot about this with a lot of people, is don't necessarily feel that you have to do what you always did before. You could look at other opportunities. If you are at a C-suite stage of life, maybe you're in your 50s. I'm not judging, but maybe you're in your 40s, maybe your 60s, whatever it is. Is it a time to do, because, is there something else that you really wanted to do? Is that an opportunity to start exploring that now? For some people, that isn't a possibility because they need the money.
Make yourself visible and make yourself easy to contact. So, Michelle, you need to kind of change your profile so that people can connect with you more easily. Somebody just said they've tried to connect with you because they want to help. Yeah, open your profile up.
Yeah, maybe you didn't even know you'd done that. Best place for your own website and email address on your LinkedIn profile.
On your LinkedIn profile, maybe. If you've got lots of videos out there, get yourself on YouTube. Who knows? It's quite easy to set up a website now with Google. But
yeah, absolutely. And Thomas makes a really good point as well. I loved being on his podcast. It was fun. So if you are an expert in whatever you're an expert in, invite yourself onto podcasts. I mean, I'm not shy. I think I badgered Thomas quite a bit to get onto his, and eventually he caved. But yeah, you get a guest spot on there. So look at companies and connections that are there to work with. Yeah, there's so much you can do. There's other things you can be doing to get visible, and podcasts are great. A lot of people don't feel comfortable doing podcasts, but they're great fun, and you're just sharing your expertise. And if you go with the mindset of, actually, this could help one person rather than, oh my God, everyone's looking at me, then you'll have a good time.
Can I just say, if anyone wants to invite me on their podcast, I'm available. I love talking.
Well, my podcast, Rightly, is starting very soon, and you are going to be invited to speak on mine. So mine is all about the relationship between confidence and successful leadership. So that will be an interesting one. So if you are a senior leader and you want to get involved in that, let me know. I'll be very happy to get you on the list. Oh, sorry, I think we double clicked.
We did.
And we did.
Yeah. This is a great question. Are physical networking events worth attending? And I have this question too, because a lot of them seem to be in London, and that's a very expensive day out. It's a couple of £100 for the train ticket, and a night in a hotel is then £300 just to get there.
Yeah.
And of course, I see events that are for marketers, but am I just going to meet other marketers there? That's all right if I meet a kind of a very senior marketer in a big organization, because normally I'm the senior marketer in an organization. Maybe if it was a really big organization, then that might work. But where do I meet my future employer? A lot of times you go to exhibitions, it's the sales team that are there and they're selling. So it's a really good question. I think we need to be at events.
The right ones. Well, yeah, that's a really good point. So be at the right events. And I'm with you on this from a consulting and coaching, small business owner side as well. I've stopped going to just all networking events because it does cost a lot of money. But where you're going to have some visibility, where you're going to be able to talk about your specialist subject, and where you're going to meet great people is fine. They may not be the right people, but you can use them that marketing opportunity to share why you were there, what you were talking about. Get on panels. You don't have to be the guest speaker. I'm a panelist on Wednesday in London, which I'm very excited about. It's good visibility, and you get to talk about the thing that you love. So I think they are worth it. I was looking at networking groups. We've had an interesting time with those in the past. I won't go into any details, but I think there are some really good proper networking events, not just for women, but for C-suite, for D-suite. But yeah, they are gonna cost some money. Thank you, Waggy. So the ghost job is not a valid job. They collect resumes and take no action. Right, Thomas has answered this. For a start, that's rubbish. Not what Thomas is saying, but isn't that rubbish that ghost jobs exist? Why? Thomas says, don't just use Easy Apply, always go through the careers site. Okay, so that should, I understand, help avoid the ghosting side. What is the point?
Interesting. So an acquaintance of mine is now deep into kind of interviewing with a company, and this person had put their CV on the job boards, Indeed, Total Jobs, all the rest of it. A recruitment company has scraped that and is then contacting companies for this person, but it's led to a role. It's very bizarre, and I'm not quite sure if it's right. But by being on boards, she's now in the running for a role.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I guess a ghost job is not a valid job. They collect your resume. They don't take any action. Have you lost anything apart from the 30 seconds it took to easy apply? I don't know, but good.
Well, some of them
said go to the actual. If you know who is advertising, go to the company or go to the recruitment agency site and apply directly if it's easy apply. That's really good information.
Brilliant. And David, I love this. So David's got lots of contacts in Manchester and Cheshire. Send me your CV, please. That's to Michelle. Ooh. Boom. Yes, do that, Michelle. Not into taking time. I know the feeling. I know a lot of us are like that. I didn't mean like stop doing anything at all, but yeah, don't be too flexible on the salary either. Yeah, just be a little bit. I don't know what that's in answer to, but I would. When we think about choosing the right job for us and we don't have a job at the moment, it's very easy for our mind to take a stand. Well, I'll drop my salary a bit. No, you don't need to. Well, I'm assuming you don't need to do that just yet. You've only just started, but you choose what the flexibility of your salary is. You choose what your lowest is and what you're willing to accept and what you absolutely would love to have. And somewhere within that will be, sorry, I've got a little yellow man I'm playing with. Somewhere within that, in case you wondered what that was, somewhere within that will be the sweet spot. But don't feel that you need to drop your salary expectations to get a job, because actually all that does is leak. I'm a bit desperate and I'll take anything. And then you'll end up in a place where you're probably not going to keep the job for a long time anyway, or not enjoy it when you're in there. So just be a little bit careful about that. But that might have been in reference to something else. So sorry if I've misunderstood. It's not to you, it's to me. Sarah, it's always a pleasure to attend your events. Wish you all the best in your awards. Oh yes, thank you very much. Thank you. It's lovely to have you back. Right. There you go. You said get out in the fresh air. She's walking every day. That's really good.
I think there's conversations happening in the comments because I'm looking through which ones do we pull up, and there's all kinds of things going on.
Carry on. Yeah, carry on. Yes, because she's always sort of telling us her age now, which I'm not going to put up on there but I mean, I can if you want me to. But yeah,
21.
21.
Let's go to this one. Let's see. Paul is saying, if you're a marketer job hunting and want to do some videos, we're happy to film you. A couple of free bids at our offices in Surrey, just southwest of London. Happy to help. How very nice. Thank you, Paul.
That's great, Paul.
Yeah.
Very nice.
You said then thought leadership videos, LinkedIn videos, etc.
Brilliant. Michelle's giving away lots of information on here.
Yeah.
I don't want to put that because I don't want us in reference to. You just did that one. Sorry. Great. Okay.
Have we covered everything in
I think, yeah. So Paul's talking about the thought leadership videos, LinkedIn videos, etc. Yeah, great. And you know what? And I love that. Thank you, Paul. And sometimes the easiest videos, especially I find this, is just, you've said this before as well, but I said just on a dog walk. Yeah. I mean, you don't have to sit your tongue out, but you can.
Probably best not to.
Not on one of those. But yeah, just while you're walking. It's just when you're not trying to, when you're trying too hard, actually, it's easier for it to come out. And if you want some fun videos to watch to see how the experts do it, do follow Thomas Woodhams, because he does some hilarious ones. Brilliant. Michelle's going to follow up sending her CV. Okay, right. Do we have any more questions? Anything else you want to know about today? We have had a question about communication.
Yes.
Which I'm very happy to just. We've got a few more minutes left.
Go on, I'll keep an eye on the comments. You answer the one about.
So there's a few questions that have come in that kind of all lead to this one answer, which is, how do we build trust quickly? How do we make sure that people like us quickly? So trusting, liking, so that we are an attractive proposition to the person, whether it be written or verbal, or whatever it is. Obviously, you need to have enough of the right skills to be able to be attractive in the first place. That's what's going to get you through the door. But the second you start speaking to them, either via email, on LinkedIn, or like, not necessarily like this, but, you know, face to face or online, what you say is important, but how you say it is even more important, especially in the first few minutes of the conversation or the email and everything else, because our brains are looking for similarity. It's an unbiased desire our brains want for similarity. Great leaders should know that we are looking for difference. They do know that rationally, but their brains haven't caught up yet. So whilst they're going, oh yes, I want lots of different people in my team, their brain's going, no, you bloody don't. You want someone just like you. So it doesn't mean they necessarily do want someone just like you, but in the first few minutes, or the first time you're meeting someone, tension is really high between the two of you. We don't know if we've got a good relationship yet, and to lower the relationship tension from high to low, which is when we can both talk together, listen to each other, and enjoy each other's company during this conversation, this meeting of minds, we need to communicate in a way that helps that person feel that you are like them, so that they can like you and not immediately put you to one side because you sound different, because the way you communicate is different. I'm not going to go through all of the communication styles that you could think of, but I do just want to just keep it really simple and think about, when you're talking to someone for the first time, consider your preference. Are you more introverted or are you more extroverted? It starts with understanding yourself. So what do you think some of the signs are? Shall I test you, Vanessa? Of somebody who has more of an introverted preference? What would be the things we could see on the outside of them that we could pick up very quickly to say, oh, that's like me, or that's not like me? Give me one example.
Not necessarily looking you in the eye. Somebody introverted might not.
Yeah, so introverts will have a varied eye contact. It won't be as direct as an extrovert who will be like, could be eyeballing you. Remember, there are levels with all of this as well. So we're just trying to get ballpark ideas of what to look for. Speed of voice, tone of voice, hand gestures, sitting forward, sitting back. So it doesn't really matter whether you understand introversion and extroversion. What matters is how do I communicate? So I'm quite loud, I'm quite forthright, I might interrupt quite a bit. I use a lot of hand gestures, I smile a lot. You may be completely opposite to me. So if I do that to you in the first couple of seconds or the first minute of us talking, we're immediately not on the same page. My job is to look at you and see, what are the one or two things that are different about us that I could change about myself just for now, to help us lower the relationship tension so that we can hear each other and we don't have a biased response to each other. So if I was talking to Vanessa and she was a classic introvert, I would probably lower my voice a bit and sit back and just be a little bit calmer. And I would pick that up very quickly from how she was looking at me, how we'd said hello, everything. You can tell very, very quickly within a matter of seconds what someone is actually going to be like right at the beginning of that relationship. It might change, but match it as much as you can without turning yourself inside out. Does that make sense?
Yes, absolutely. It's all about this fear, isn't it, of things that are different. So if you reduce the fear, reduce the tension, then you can kind of slowly warm up to being your true self. Quick question, because I know we're kind of coming to the end of time. Shailene asks, what's your thoughts on the open to work banner? So just very quickly, this is very subjective. Richard van der Blom has posted, having done lots of research, that it is not massively helpful to recruiters. Recruiters might be different. As an executive job seeker, I think it might be different to if you are a middle management or below. There might be kind of differences in how people perceive it then. You must definitely on LinkedIn make sure that your profile is visible to recruiters that you are looking for an opportunity. So tick that box. Whether you go the extra tick to have the open to work banner, that is up to you. That's subjective. Personally, it's not for me. That's what I've decided. But you can decide. And what would you think if you were an executive job giver, hunter, hiring manager? What do you think your thoughts would be on that? So we have discussed that before. I think
we have, and it's a thing about it's a bit about scarcity. If someone thinks you're not available, you're more attractive. And that's how the brain works. That's nothing to do with whether it's right or wrong. It's just how the brain works. So that's something to be aware of. But I'm with you. Yeah. It's very personal.
Yeah, Lucia puts in there, she's just joined. She's been seeking a new HR manager generalist role since January. That's a shame. The market is brutal, but I think it's warming up. I don't know about you, but I've seen some nice roles coming up just recently. So, hang in there. The market has been brutal. I'm going to stick with that optimism mindset. Yeah. Well, goes out to everyone who's in the same situation. Yeah. She's trying to stay positive and hope that the market improves soon for us all.
Best likewise.
Lucia. What I would say as well is Sarah, you talked about it before. If you're an executive job seeker, if you've got loads of experience, you've changed companies, you've brought great value before. Can you look at interim work? Can you do some consultancy? Even if it's just to go in and help a company for a couple of days to lead a workshop or something, or, there are lots of smaller companies who can't afford you full time, but they might be able to afford you 1 or 2 days a week to set them on the right path, to set up procedures and processes, or you could help hire someone to do that middle management role that you've created the strategy for. Think, if you've been out of work for quite a while, you need to kind of keep your skills sharp and get some money coming in. So is there an opportunity to do some contract work? Think about that.
I was thinking in the HR manager generalist roles, there is a lot of, well, I say a lot, there are opportunities out there for smaller companies that don't have that person. Yeah. They don't have that experience. So I wish you luck with that, Lucia. It is difficult. And one of the reasons we're here is to create a space where people can feel a bit of a sense of belonging and know that you're not alone. We know it doesn't change anything, but everything we talk about, we trust will give you a little bit of an edge. So for you, Lucia, I'd love you to think about how you've applied for things, what you've applied. Even interim is struggling. Okay. And also how you're showing up now. I can imagine after 9 months of looking, mindset might need a little bit of a thought. How are you feeling? Is that affecting how you're showing up? But your job is out there. You will get work again. It's just it's tough. Okay, so we are at time. Hey Dan, thanks for coming in. Great session. Thank you both. So much energy. You are welcome. We are here to give the energy, the advice, some training, some knowledge, some support, anything we can do to help you before, during, or after your job seeking success has happened. Any final comments from you?
I'm just going to say, keep positive. Your job is out there, as Sarah was saying. If you've got any more questions, obviously join us next week. Send any questions beforehand. Connect with us. Let us have a 15-minute coffee sometime during the week before next week. I can try and make myself available, and then we can discuss whatever's blocking you next week for everyone else's benefit. So do get in contact. Oh, that's really sweet. Paul says, you guys are great. You're great too, Paul. Somebody needs you.
There's some great people out there. We're attracting greatness, and I love it. Thank you all so much for joining us. And if you're watching this on replay, I hope you found it really valuable. And feel free to join us anytime. Look back at any of the other episodes we've done. They're on our LinkedIn profiles under events. So if you go to all posts and then scroll across, you can see the events. We're all there. I taught you that last week, didn't I?
I didn't know that.
Yeah, very proud of myself. And thank you for joining us, Thomas. And also, I've forgotten your name, but whoever came from the HR, the recruitment side of things as well. Really, really appreciate it. Invite the recruiters too. We want to hear from them. They might have jobs for you. They might not know that you exist. So let's get everyone connecting. But good luck. Have a fantastic week. The sun is shining. Enjoy it. And we shall see you next Monday.